It may not seem like much, but we've got some big developments this week. What's up guys, Dr. Coaster here on behalf of the Georgia Coaster Connection, and welcome back to another ArieForce One Construction Update. Before we get started, I just want everyone to know that all photos and footage included in any of these construction updates are free to use with credit. I'd also like to thank my Georgia Coaster Connection partner Christopher as we gather this content together. I'll link his pages down below. I made my way back out to Fun Spot Atlanta on Saturday, May 7th, and I'm thrilled to share the progress that RMC and Fun Spot have made on ArieForce One's construction this week. The last update was just a week ago, and as usual, there's a lot to talk about, so let's get into this. Let's start in the storage area behind the parking lot. Like always, I started by walking back to this area first, which has served as a staging area for RMC as new shipments arrived to the park. There hadn't been much going on here recently, until RMC moved the remaining track to their designated areas last week. Following that development last week, well, there's nothing new this week. However, RMC did post this video of fresh new track that was ready to leave Idaho this week, so expect that to be on site very soon. From the looks of it, this will likely be the Raven Trust Dive, which would finally be coming together. Now on to checking out the back of the park, since RMC has been hard at work there the past couple of weeks. The park has received truckloads of dirt in recent weeks and had begun digging to prep the ground to go vertical. This week, RMC was continuing to work back there while I was at the park. It's pretty difficult to see what's going on back there until pieces of the ride start moving, but it appeared that they were still in the process of preparing the ground so that the ride can go vertical. I'd expect this to start happening shortly, but I have no reason or have heard anything to back that up. A small thing to note is that the park recently installed 2 fountains here right at the pond, one on each side of the pavilion, which is just a small touch that I noticed that shows their continued efforts to shape up this park. After checking out the construction behind the arcade, it was time to peek in front of it to see if there was anything new on the barrel roll. The concrete was poured 2 to 3 weeks ago, meaning that it should just about be finished curing, so as expected, this is sitting and waiting to be inspected before RMC can proceed further, but we are very close. Before the site progresses even further, can we just take one opportunity to appreciate this beautiful fat chunk of a footer? Just look at this thing. The barrel roll that is going to support should be even more impressive. Moving on from the footer for the barrel roll, it was time to check out the beginning of ArieForce One's layout. Last week, RMC continued prepping the supports for the longest zero-G stall in North America, as we eagerly awaited seeing the track get dropped into place. They also prepped track at the same time, but it was clear upon arriving to the spot that RMC had placed all their efforts behind the arcade this week, as I didn't notice anything new here as the Raven Trust Dive and stall remained in their previous states from last week. But it was while I was checking out this area that I noticed something new with regards to the middle of the ArieForce One's layout. This paint scene here is brand new, and it extends from the front of the park all the way down to what will be the entrance into the barrel roll. These flags were also staked out along this layout, which are from a local gas and electric company, meaning that Fun Spot and RMC are prepping to break ground on the middle of the ride's layout, but first they needed to clear any gas and electric lines. It looks like we are getting very close to seeing movement along this portion of the ride. Before we wrap things up, just a message for anyone who is concerned about the pace of construction and whether or not the opening of the ride could potentially be pushed back. And my answer is don't. As soon as the park clears some more inspections and sorts their way through more government red tape, we will once again see construction resume at a rapid pace. RMC controls manufacturing, shipping, and installation of all of their roller coasters, meaning that they can build way quicker than other manufacturers, so expect this to be open by late summer. Thank you all for watching. That was the 10th of many ArieForce One construction updates to come. If you don't want to miss out on more construction updates like this, then be sure to subscribe to the channel, as many more of these will be coming, leading up to the opening of the ride. If you haven't already, then also be sure to follow Georgia Coaster Connection over on Instagram, your home for all things ArieForce One. If you're feeling inclined, then you can follow me as well, at Dr_Coaster. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.